What up? Big Herc 916. Positivity, motivation, never settle for average. Go pick you up a hat and represent at NSFACO. A lot of people have been asking me about what do I think of Andrew Tate. And I see a lot of people putting stuff on the internet as far as, you know, what they interpret him as a person and quotes and different things from his videos and what have you. Well, you know, I actually met him and his brother Tristan back in, I want to say, early 2019, around that time. And you know, his brother hit me up on social media, and I linked up with them when they came to Los Angeles. And I'll tell you, they were two of the realest dudes I've ever met. And I've been around a lot of people, and in a industry where people pretend to be something they're not, they weren't trying to pretend to be anything but themselves. It wasn't like they had a persona that they put on to try to be over the top. They were just laid back, real dudes, and we chopped it up. You know, talked about everything from you know, growing up in Chicago, living in England, moving to Romania. His brother talked about getting into, you know, kickboxing and becoming a businessman and entrepreneur, and just, you know, traveling the world, and how to overcome adversity. You know, they weren't handed a silver spoon, and they had to hustle for everything they got. So, you know, I respect that, man, because I've had a lot of people on my channel, and I've interacted with a lot of people that are fake as you know what. I mean, you see them in public, and they put on this image, and then if you find out behind closed doors how this person was living, you'd be like, oh man, it would bust your bubble, man. And that's a lot of people in Hollywood and social media. You know, you get the tattoos, you grow out a beard, or you take on a certain walk and talk loud, and you know, get a bunch of followers, and that's how it works. But I never found anything exciting about lying about what I did in my past or trying to put extras on it. It's just not in my DNA, and that's not how I grew up. And I never heard, you know, Tristan Cobra Tate say anything, you know, looking back, even, you know, going back, what is that, almost 4 years now? I could truly say everything he told me back then is the same stuff that he says today on social media. And this is before he blew up. He wasn't, you know, this guy who got canceled. You know, at that point, he was, you know, still building the social media. I mean, he was doing well for himself and doing his thing, but, you know, he wasn't, you know, he didn't have the Bugatti yet. You know, he had some exotics and stuff. And, you know, he even gave me an invite. Him and his brother was like, man, you come to Romania, you can stay at the crib, man. You can drive these crazy mountains with us and hang out. And I'm like, you know, I'm like, yeah, I'm down, man. I worked my way over there. And then all the bullshit hit. And I'm like, oh, I won't be doing too much traveling. And then, you know, fast forward, here we are. And, you know, they canceled him on social media, hating because he speaks the truth. And it's real what he says, as far as once you get to a certain point and you have money, they fear that because they can't stop you. It's like, I've been shadow banned on YouTube for the past, you know, almost 4 years now, dealing with this bullshit. And they don't want to let us get to a certain part of social media wise, because then the algorithm just totally changes. But as long as they can keep me at the numbers they have me at, I mean, on this channel, I've been at 119,000 for 2 years. I'm losing subscribers, they say. I'm minus. And Fresh Out's been at 560,000 subscribers for over 2 years, and we're negative 200 subscribers. doesn't make sense, man, when you have over 400 million views on one channel, and I have over 100 million views on this channel, close to 100 million. So it doesn't make sense when, you know, you see that, but what can I do? And that's why I continue to focus my energy on other endeavors outside of this, so that I'm not dependent on social media. But, you know, Tate's the same way. I mean, his money, when I met him, wasn't even based on social media. He was doing his own thing. He had businesses and stuff that he was putting together, you know, in Romania and other places. So it wasn't like he was waiting on to get a paycheck from a YouTube or something like that, or TikTok. You know, that wasn't his thing. So he's not been at the mercy of the cancel culture, and it's actually just blew him up even more. And, you know, he's on every platform. You know, somebody saying something about him. I even seen Candace Owens. She never, I don't think even met him, and she put up clips and trying to describe him, and the officer Tate is trying to describe him and talk about him and analyze him through clips. It's like, if you want to really know somebody, why don't you sit down and have a conversation with them? You know, a lot of people want to make judgment based on what they've seen or heard, and at the end of the day, my thing is come to the round table. You know, I sat down and talked with him, kicked it with him for, you know, quite a few hours, and you know, got to know the guy, and have interacted multiple times through messaging. And like I said, I never seen anything I feel that's negative. And I understand how the game goes. You know, people are going to take videos. People can take my old videos and say shit. You know, I worked in the adult entertainment industry, and, you know, I know there's some freaky chicks out there that like to do certain things. And, you know, if you have that on film and they can get a hold of it, of course, that's what they do to all the politicians, you know, bust out stuff to justify getting them thrown out of office and expose judges, all this stuff. I already know. And if it's with a consenting adult, then ain't nothing wrong with it. But I already know how the game goes. And, you know, so it doesn't surprise me that they use that. But the fact that he is talking about masculinity, strong young men, inspiring young men, you know, it scares them, because they want feminine boys. They want soy boys, tampon boys. They want men to cry and be emotional and say that's hateful, when a man's supposed to say, you know what, shut your mouth. So what? Okay, well, look, this and that. You know, when I was young, man, and you had a problem with somebody, or somebody talked about your mama, the next day you come up with your own mama jokes. You know, wasn't nothing to the point where it's so hateful that you want to go out and you know, shoot up a playground or stab somebody. It wasn't that serious, man. You just get tougher skin, and life is about being tough anyways. You got to build some thickness if you plan on surviving. If you want to get past your 20s and 30s, you better learn to deal with adversity and face challenges. Otherwise, you're going to be a damn weenie. And he was promoting not being a weenie, and he's been through it. You know, this guy's dad's black, mom's white. He's interracial. The people wouldn't probably know, but at the same time, I'm quite sure he's dealt with a lot of challenges, and he's a real kick-ass. You know, championship kickboxer, actually got in the ring, handled his business, and a lot of guys are just, it's all talk. It's all talk. Tattoos, the look, all talk. He ain't all talk. He's a real deal, and that's what they fear. See, they get these guys that they push, and they build them up to be something, and then have them go with a narrative. You see it with the hip-hop industry with all the rappers, but then the ones who are really genuine, who have lived the life and are talking something different, they don't push them. See, me, I've lived that life for real, and I've been through all the different parts of the system, but when I talk what I talk and I don't promote the bullshit, they don't want to hear that because it doesn't go with the agenda. I'm not going to tell you no ignorant ass shit, you know? And Tate, man, everything I've heard, man, I listen to his videos too. Even though I've met the man just to see what he's saying in the videos, if it conflicts, and ain't no conflict. He's a real deal. You know, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Tristan. And man, you guys, I appreciate the opportunity. I haven't even linked up with you guys. And, you know, I couldn't make the Dubai trip, but, you know, I'm going to make it out there one day. You know, I'm working on getting my stuff out here tight. But, you know, two of the realest people I've met. You know, social media has a way of trying to control a narrative, and I give them props for not allowing that narrative to affect their ability to put out a message. During all the bullshit, he was coming real, exposing, and man, it's a shame, but at the same time, it shows you when you talk about free speech and what they want people to hear, how they want to control it, and we need more people like him actually putting it out there, because everybody's scared. People don't want to get canceled. They don't want to get labeled. They got me labeled far right non-woke on one of these social media platforms. Far right non-woke. I've done porn. I've sold drugs, committed bank robberies, worked in Hollywood. So I'm non-woke and I'm far right. How does that make sense? Because I'm not promoting a lot of this weird stuff going on right now with the young kids. That's why I'm not woke. That's why I'm far right. No, I understand what values is and I understand what morals is. So I'm more mature in my mentality at this point in my life, and I can see that if I see something that's going to be beneficial to a young person, I'm going to speak on that, but I'm not going to promote things that I don't feel that young people need to be exposed to. So I keep it real. And Andrew, you're right, man. Masculinity, they trying to crush it, bro. But I'm going to keep pushing it on my end and doing what I can do. And, Fresh Out's going to keep pushing what they can do on their end. And it is what it is, man. They fear that which they can't control. And you guys out there got to do your best to share the channel, grow the channel, and have a voice, man. I love having you guys, share your comments. And, I'm always looking for interesting guests on Fresh Out. So if you're down, hit us up, freshoutseries.com. And, hey, Tate, confidential, man. You guys are, you the man. And, I just want to, clear up a couple things out there, because everybody's trying to speak on you, and a lot of people have never met you, and they don't know you as a person, and I met you as a person, and I know you're a real one. You ain't with the bullshit. You're not pretentious. You're not pretending. It is. You're a kick-ass with intellect, and people fear that, man, because you're not a weenie. So, Big Herc 916, that's what's up with Andrew Tate, in my opinion.
Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said, wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com.
Hello, I'm Big Herc 916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.